If you've been in a TV store lately, you've probably heard of acronyms like OLED, QLED, mini LED, ULED, blah 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 LED, and new LEDs coming up like every single day. Well, in this video, we'll be throwing away all the marketing jargons used by manufacturers to make you buy stuff you don't need. So let's break down these display types to the simplest form possible. Every TV type is a combination of two things: color and light. Color is achieved by combining three major primary colors to form every other color on the planet, which means if you can gradually adjust the proportion of each color, you can produce other colors. Your TV screen, including your smartphone, is simply manipulating this stuff in millions of tiny little blocks of cells called pixels, and is continuously doing it right now, and that's how it can display this video. If you place a drop of water on the screen, you might just be able to see them perform and change colors. Each of these pixels contain three colors, which your TV is continuously adjusting individually to deceive your eyes. Now that we have the colors figured out, you also need a light source to make the colors visible. That brings us to the second element, which is light. The way a TV produces its colors and the way the color is lighted up makes all the difference in display types. Most TVs use liquid crystal display or LCD to produce the colors on the pixels, while LED bulbs are used to light up the screen from behind. This is called backlighting. QLED, mini LED, QNED, QD, mini LED all belongs to this category, including ULED and nanocell TVs. OLEDs are the exception. OLED means organic light emitting diode, and unlike other screen types, the pixel itself is its own light source. It's more like replacing each pixel with tiny little red, green, and blue bulbs, and also using them to form colors, like what you'd see in an LED display billboard. But in the case of OLED, organic materials are used and assembled on a micro scale, so no LED backlight is needed. This means in order to produce black, the pixels which light up themselves can simply turn off, producing images with darker blacks compared to an LCD-based TV. QLED means quantum light emitting diode, and it's quite different from your typical LCD display. Unlike a normal LCD display, QLED uses quantum dot pixels. Quantum dot is a chemical innovation with a special ability to convert blue light into brighter red, green, or other colors of light with a different wavelength. This is why you'd most likely find a blue LED backlight behind a QLED TV. The quantum dots are also the reason why QLEDs are more colorful and bright compared to other TVs without quantum dots. So if you see QLED on any TV, expect a colorful display with incredible brightness. You'd find this on Samsung, TCL, and other brands. You can also find this technology bearing other names like ULED on Hisense brand. Let's look at mini LED. When you see mini LED on a TV, it's simply talking about tiny backlights, specifically tiny LED bulbs behind the LCD display. It's not telling you about how colorful the TV is, but how the TV is lighted up from behind. Mini LED TVs have smaller LED bulbs behind to help achieve local dimming. A mini LED TV would produce a similar quality of black like what you'd find in an OLED TV. Just like OLEDs control each pixel individually, mini LED TVs control each LED backlight individually, so in order to show black, LED backlight behind the pixel goes off. As simple as this is, this raises the image quality of mini LED TVs close to what you'd find in OLED, but at a more affordable price. Another good thing about mini LED is that it can be combined with any other LCD-based display type, including QLED, QNED, and nanocell. You'd find mini LED in recent LG, Hisense, and Samsung LCD-based TVs. As a matter of fact, all Sony 2024 TVs are mini LED, completely ditching the OLED technology. QD mini LED is what happens when blue backlight in a quantum dot display are made smaller and are lighted up individually with local dimming. QD mini LED stands for quantum dot mini LED and will deliver the same bright, colorful display of a QLED TV with deeper OLED-like blacks, thanks to the local dimming of tiny backlights. You'd find this on recent TCL TVs and Samsung TVs, although the names might appear as QLED, mini LED, but it's basically the same technology. Let's look at QNED. QNED stands for Quantum Nanocell Emitting Diode and is a combination of quantum dots and nanocrystal particles, which were already used on LG nanocell TVs. Well, this is what LG explains on the product, but personally on a micro scale, I don't see much difference between quantum dot technology and nanocell technology, as they are both tiny nanocrystal based color enhancers that does basically the same thing. I personally think it's a marketing gimmick, and nanocell TVs are just LG's own discovery and implementation of quantum dots with a fancy name. Nevertheless, some QNEDs are also equipped with mini LED backlighting behind and are also found on LG TVs. But once again, it's a fancy name for QD mini LED or QLED mini LED. So which is better? We'll be comparing in terms of cost, contrast, brightness, viewing angle, eye fatigue, sleekness, and defects. But before we begin, like and subscribe for more buying guides that help you avoid buying mistakes. You can also visit our website at hardwaremall.io to find the best TVs and other appliances, as well as stores you can contact for pricing and order. Also, if you own an appliance store, click on I'm a vendor, fill out the form, and you'll be signed up in no time. Let's look at contrast, talking about the ratio difference between the brightest color and the darkest color on the display. OLED still holds the title for the deepest contrast, mostly because the light source is the pixel, and there are little or no color loss. QD mini LED would also perform well since the light source is being unified with the pixel color by the quantum dots. Plus, there's a further boost from the local dimming of the mini LED, especially on the darker colors. QNED and QLED would also tow the same path, but with regular sized LED backlights, there will definitely be losses on contrast. Regular mini LED without the quantum layer would also do good, but compared to these other guys, they have the least contrast level. So OLED followed by QD mini LED or QNED mini LED, QLED and QNED, and finally the plain mini LED. When it comes to brightness, QD mini LED and QNED mini LED, QLED and QNED TVs would all deliver. This is because of the increase in wavelength performed by the quantum nanocrystals. And aside being bright, these TVs would also deliver more colors compared to non-quantum TVs. When it comes to OLED, we have to be a bit more detailed and specific. For example, normal OLEDs like LG's A series would struggle with brightness because of internal reflections within the OLED panel. OLEDs with MLA, like what you see in the LG G series, would deliver a brightness level that can almost match QLED. White OLED or WOLED, like you'd see in LG C3 and upwards, and quantum OLED like you'd see in Samsung S95C would also match the brightness of other display types. So let's just say all TVs are bright except the base OLEDs. When it comes to viewing angle, we're talking about how far from the center you can view a TV without the images becoming darker or washed out. OLED remains the boss with the widest viewing angle, followed by mini LED TVs, while the QNED and QLED has the least performance in this area. Looking at eye fatigue, OLED remains the best along with the mini LED TVs, followed by the QNED and QLED. So if you need a TV to use for gaming or as a monitor, OLED and all mini LED TVs would go easy on your eyes. Also, most modern monitors are either OLED or mini LED. When it comes to sleekness, the thinnest TVs are OLED because of the absence of a separate layer for backlight. The quantum dot TVs also feature a separate layer for the quantum dots and are the least sleek. When it comes to defects, you'd hurriedly say OLED because of the burn-in, but that could be wrong. That's because OLEDs have been improved over the years to become not just brighter but burn-in resistant. White OLEDs have a stronger burn-in resistance, and QD OLEDs have also been built to minimize the level of burn-in in even higher brightness. Mini LED TVs are also expected to have some areas of the screen permanently dim, but we haven't had the technology long enough to test out that failure point. Nevertheless, based on the size of the mini LED bulbs, it might not be advisable watching a mini LED TV at maximum brightness for long hours. Every other LCD TV would just do what an LCD TV does, which is... So, which is better? Personally, I would go for a mini LED TV with a quantum layer. Talking about QLED mini LED, QNED mini LED, ULED mini LED, or a QD mini LED. Different jargons, same technology. Simple mini LED array behind a quantum layer. The mini LED backlighting will deliver deep blacks, better viewing angle, lower eye fatigue, while the quantum dots will deliver richer colors, and all these at a lower price point compared to OLED. We've added some of the best mini LED TVs on the video description. You can also visit hardwaremall.io to find vendors for these TVs. Also remember to subscribe for more buying guides that help avoid buying mistakes. I'm Justin. Bye bye.